Teenagers as young as 14 could soon have access to euthanasia following a proposal being considered by the ACT Labor Greens government. Elizabeth, this feels really dangerous to me.
It certainly does. And, we don't have the legislation as yet. This Labor Greens government is undergoing a process now, and I understand that they're going to be tabling it at the end of the year. I've always said that I'll be very open to looking at the legislation, but I also flagged my significant concern if there was moves to allow children under the age of 18 to access the scheme. I think that it is absolutely fraught. And, I'd be very, very concerned about it. Of course, I'm going to save my judgment until the legislation is tabled. But, yeah, I have some significant concerns about it.
Yeah, and you're right. You got to look at everything. And the thought of a 14-year-old even having to consider this is so hard.
I know. And we saw recently, just I think last week, that young South Australian woman who succumbed to her illness. She went via euthanasia. And so, look, I do see that there are situations for it, but 14 is way too young. I think we need to have strong policies and gears in motion that are checking that this is going to be covered up.
Because it's a misuse of it that's worrying, not the genuine, legitimate. Oh, I don't know. The whole thing is awful. If any parent is even having to think about it, my heart breaks for you. Okay, American politician Vivek Ramaswamy posted a pretty controversial quote on social media this week. He's nominated for president, by the way. Now, the post read, "The number one aspiration for American kids today is to be a vlogger. The number one aspiration for kids in China is to be an astronaut. This isn't our kids' fault, it's ours, and we don't have long to fix it." Michelle, what do you make of that? Because I saw this and I screenshot it and I sent it to my team. I said, I want to talk about this because this really got me thinking.
It's really interesting because I have an 11-year-old and he is addicted to the screen, and what he does is he sits there and he watches YouTube and he just watches
They watch
vloggers.
carpet cleaning.
Yeah, my son in particular watches vloggers. He watches other people talking about games. He's not playing the game, he's watching other people playing the game. And it becomes like an addiction for them. It does kick off that kind of serotonin in their brains. So it's kind of a bit like crack for them. Like I have to pull him off that, and getting him off a device, he gets into such tantrums. So we have to limit his iPad time because of it. And I think it is up to the parents to do that.
Yeah, the parents have to play a role here. Elizabeth, yours is still young. You've got another beautiful girl as well, a 5-year-old, nearly 5-year-old. What do you think about this? Are we setting our kids up for failure by giving them too much social media and tablets and that kind of thing? And is aspiration to be something amazing dead?
Yeah, look, it is quite scary, isn't it? And, there is obviously a place for social media and technology. There's no doubt about that. And it does a lot of good for the world. But when you've got kids as young as 2 who know how to navigate, like you see 2-year-olds all the time knowing exactly how to swipe. And that's quite scary. So I do think that it is up to parents to ensure that they are limiting the time that they spend on these devices because, there's concern, of course, that kids from that young age are starting to lose the skills and ability to actually engage personally with people, which is quite scary. So I think that the society as a whole has a huge responsibility to ensure that we're doing the right thing for our kids for the next generation.
Oh, very much so. Very quickly, Diet Coke. Apparently it's bad for you. People have been telling me this for years. My mother doesn't lift her head before she cracks a can of Diet Coke in the morning. Yes or no? Do you drink it?
Yes, yes, I do. I love it, but also aspartame. It's not very good for you.
No, I know. I read that today.
I know.
Elizabeth?
Look, I have had the odd occasion, but I am trying to get off it.
Yeah, I'm trying to drink more wine. And look, it's hard, but I'm trying my best. Ladies, thank you so very much. Really appreciate your time.